Here we have a new 2025 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. This one comes in the SEL trim level in transmission blue. And then we have black cloth interior. For the powertrain, we get a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid setup, and that's mated with a 6-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, of course, the typical beautiful Sonata exterior design here. The LED daytime running light that goes across the top there. You have your LED headlamps as well. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful car. And what really makes this stand out and what's crazy is with this one being like a mid-level hybrid, they did such a great job with these 17-inch alloy wheels. They just look so good. Now we get passive keyless entry on the front. We get one-touch up and down windows for the front, regular power windows for the back, rear window locks here, power door lock controls, power mirror controls. We do get blind spot monitors as well. And then electronic parking brake, trunk release, hood release, manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. But a huge thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review the Sonata today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But one of the greatest things about this car, 44 city, 51 highway, in terms of miles per gallon. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's check out the rear seat room. So not bad. What makes this a lot easier to deal with than it looks is tons of space underneath the seat itself. And even for my longer legs, my knees are up because there's so much space that I have between the floorboard and the top where my knees can rest there. So that's pretty impressive. Seat back pocket there. Rear AC vents, 2 USB-C charge ports. View of the front from back here. And then our middle seat does fold down, and we get bottle holders here. Now I am interested to see how this gets 51 miles per gallon specifically on the highway, because that would be a game changer for me. With that kind of fuel economy, geez. There are your child locks for the back though. And there's your fuel filler. To the back end, we do get our LED tail lamps. Nice look there. I don't know where that plane came from. I've never heard a plane fly over here, but okay. Now here's the trunk space, and as you can see, a lot of this plastic still has not been removed, so that's interesting, but tons of space in the trunk space itself, even with this one being the hybrid. And then we even have space for the inflator kit. Now in terms of the sound system, I did do a sound system test, so I'll have that short posted to my channel after a while. But the sound system in here wasn't bad when I tested it out. Of course, it wasn't fantastic, but no big deal there. Top tethers for the seats are right there. And one thing I just now noticed is this is how you release the seats for the back. So you get that in the back there. I've been so used to doing SUVs that I assumed it was on the back of the seat. But once you pull that, this will fold flat. You can run longer objects through to the front, and pretty easy to just snap it back into place. You do get rear side airbags on this car, which help with its fantastic crash test ratings. And then this also surprised me. You get a power front passenger seat for the SEL. We have cloth seats, but a power front passenger seat. I'll take it. Side pockets on both sides. They're small, but you can fit some business cards or something, I guess. Glove compartment with tons of owner's manuals. And as you might be able to tell, this engine is not cut on the entire time I've been doing this review, even though the car is on. So there's that 2-liter hybrid 4-cylinder. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat next. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. And I'm glad it's not a puny horn sound. Over here to the screen, I believe it's 12.3 inches. So for media, go in here. We do get AM, FM, XM, and then we also have our wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay with Bluetooth audio there. And then my favorite screen, the hybrid screen, so you can see your fuel economy, battery life, when the electric motor is running, when the engine's running, what's running the wheels, so on and so forth. And then in your setup here, vehicle settings, you can control the climate, drive mode settings, driver assistance settings, all of that. And then in the general settings, change your language here if you want to do that. There's reverse. You get that backup camera that has the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then down here we have some soft touch buttons for the AC control. We do get dual zone automatic climate controls, which is nice. We have a few shortcuts, and I'm trying to block out the glare. But for the nav, when it's hooked up to your CarPlay, custom button, all of that. Then volume knob, you click there to mute. And then you kind of have a tune knob there. 3-stage heated front seats, fan speed control, fan direction, all that is a soft touch, and then you can even cut the whole system off there. Now down here, you do get 2 USB-C ports. One is you can actually run the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The other one is just for charging, but then you do have a wireless charging pad here as well. 12 volt there. And then for your drive modes, push buttons, so you get 3 different options: Eco, Drive, or Eco, My Drive, and Sport. Automatic brake hold, then you have a push button to pull up the camera on the fly if you want to do that. Center console cubby space, not bad. This glare today is crazy. But there's a look at the back seat from up here. Lights. And there's a vanity mirror. Blinkers are here. Now when your headlamps are set to auto, you can toggle the auto high beams there. When they're set to the low beams, you can toggle the high beams there. And then over here we have our intermittent wiper. So one time off, intermittent low, high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency here. Pull up for the front fluid. You get paddle shifters, which I'm going to assume control regen. And then we have the smart cruise here, set the speed, gap adjust for the smart cruise, your lane centering, and then you can go through your sub menus there. And when applicable, you can use this as a scroll bar. Then to this side, audio sources can be toggled here: voice recognition, track list or radio station presets, volume. Then you can mute here, custom button, Bluetooth button. Then for the shifter, hit the brake, pull down there for reverse, up for drive, tap from either direction for neutral. Then your park is on the side there. Push button start. Finally, here's your key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid SEL out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Sonata Hybrid here, right off the bat, I want to say I love that you get 3 levels of regen here. So I have it set up to the max regen now, and it feels almost like a one pedal drive. It's not quite that, but that's how strong it feels. So I'm very impressed by that. And when you let off the gas pedal, that's the one pedal, or the level 3, excuse me, doing its thing. So it's, again, pretty impressive. Now it is a bit wonky because it's not a typical one pedal, but it does help out quite a bit in terms of making sure you get the most out of braking so that you can recharge the battery. Now for me personally, for everyday driving, level 2 is probably gonna be the best one, I think. Level 3 is a tad strong, but you get the max regen there. And again, the level 2 just feels more of like a typical hybrid, I think. But level 1 is probably the easiest. I mean, the easiest one is to turn it off, but you know, for me, I feel like level 1 gets you the best of both worlds if you're not used to driving an EV or a vehicle that has one pedal in it, because the 2 and 3 is very strong. You could get used to it and probably be all right, but wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But I mean, what's crazy is this car is pretty quick to be a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Now it does have the hybrid setup, but it's still, just giving it barely anything in eco mode, it pulls very nicely. So with that being said, I'm gonna put it in the sport and we're gonna see what this thing can do. Here we go. Yeah, that felt good. I mean, it felt really good. But especially for a car that gets you 51 miles per gallon highway. That's insane. So I had the smart cruise going, the lane centering assistant going. And for what you get here, I'm just so impressed the more I drive this car, because from a practical standpoint, this is one of the best cars I think you can get. You get 44 city, 51 highway in terms of the fuel economy. Really a direct competitor with the Camry Hybrid. And I mean, it's trying to knock it out of the park and destroy that car, which is pretty hard to do. But it's just such a practical machine that's fun to drive. Now I've driven the Camrys and they're still relatively fun to drive, but I don't think they're as fun as this Sonata is, and that's just my opinion. But this just feels like a more sporty vehicle, even though Hyundai's not really trying. Just really impressed by this car. Now, me personally, I prefer the 6-speed as opposed to an 8-speed or a CVT, just because it feels more traditional. But again, just my opinion there. Now I want to give one more thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this Sonata today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are finding to get you the best price on this Sonata or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But all in all, I mean, a really, really nice car. It's relatively quick, very efficient, and it's just easy to drive. Even with it being a hybrid, you have the option to set up your regen the way you want. It's just, it checks all the boxes for me. If you want a Camry, yeah, you can do that, but if you don't, check this out, because you might be more impressed with this than the Camrys, with all those being hybrid now. But I think a great car all in all. Great driver, very comfortable even with the cloth seats. And if you're looking for something in this segment, I say check it out. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid in the SEL trim level.